My husband forgot the past 8 years and wants a divorce. I have been with my husband Josh since we were seniors in high school. We broke up shortly after high school graduation but got back together a year afterwards. We overcame long distance, educational and job difficulties, unplanned pregnancies, medical issues, everything. He is my first everything and I cannot imagine life without him. But now I have to get used to it. 2 months ago, Josh woke up next to me shocked. He asked what I was doing on his chest and who I was. He likes to sometimes wake me up saying, "Hey, who's this beautiful lady on my chest?" But this was different and he wouldn't let me touch him and he started demanding to know where he was and where a woman named Lisa was. I was confused and scared to say the least. I tried to explain that I'm his wife and that he's home safe. Josh yelled he would have never married me in a million years. He started running around our house looking at photos of us and out of windows. He refused to let me get too close, so I called his mom and she talked to him on his phone. He freaked out that I knew his passcode and he started wailing about what was going on. I called his therapist and he was taken to the hospital. He was put on 5,150 and I had his mom come take him when it was up. When he got home a week later, he accepted that I was his wife but kept saying us being together was wrong. He didn't go to work for a bit and I noticed he obsessively searching for a woman named Lisa who went to a college he turned down for me. I have never seen this woman and I wondered if he possibly had an affair in the past. I found messages to a number from him a week later where he begged Lisa to talk to him, but she said she had no idea who he was. The phone wasn't public, so he must have it memorized. I asked his mom about it and she asked him, to which he said, "She's the love of my life." He stopped and was so distraught he tried to take his own life. He went back to the facility and evaluated again. I was given options but I wanted him home. So he prescribed some medication. His sister stayed with us until he seemed stable. But Josh would act so coldly towards me, asking questions about why we got back together and how upset he was that we were. When we broke up originally, I cursed him out for 3 hours straight and later found out he had made a move on the girl he told me not to worry about. He would say he didn't know how he could love me again after all I said. He refused to do chores and would stay out into the night for hours. Over a month ago he came to me and asked for a divorce. He said when he told me I should find someone better after high school I should have done that because he can't bring himself to love me. How can I be with someone who is so obviously embarrassed to be with the old me? I told him he's not that insecure little boy anymore and he was the love of my life. He had been publicly embarrassed years ago in regards to me. He used to be insecure that I was too good for him and that everyone knew that. My father, after meeting him, told me he was a loser. But I reminded Josh I chose him because I love him. I told him we moved past that and I thought we were good. He didn't believe me and said he couldn't imagine being happy with me. He left that night and was fine coming to get his things to move in with his sister. He looks at me with nothing but apathy and it hurts. His sister urged him to try again and he came back and I told him I don't want to throw away 10 years together over a mental break. We were both thriving career-wise and had virtually no issues up to this point. We were renovating this very house together. He agreed to try and we were fine for more than a month. It was like trying to date him again, but everything seemed to moving in a positive direction. We even slept together and I thought that was proof things were great. He was so caring and attentive like I remembered, so I figured he was getting there. He initiated it and wouldn't stop telling me how beautiful I was, like he remembered. Then 3 nights ago happened. I came home from work to find Josh sitting quietly at the kitchen table, drinking. He never does that. He had been waiting for me and then slammed divorce papers and his phone onto the table. His phone was open to text messages with explicit photos and mentioning of a night together with a woman named Lisa. Not the same one, but apparently someone he met on Tinder. I will never forget the venom in his voice when he said, "Now will you divorce me?" I went to our room and locked the door and just cried. I heard him leave and his sister took him away. She texted me an apology and said she's turning him back into the facility, but I told her to just take him and I'll sign the papers but not to tell him I was. I'm floored. My mother and brother are flying to help me with this. Everyone is shocked and I cannot fathom what has happened. We had been trying for a baby too. I'm seeing if I miss my period because we did it unprotected, but now I wonder if I should get tested for STDs too. Update. I had a feeling my post might blow up because of how bizarre the situation is, but I didn't expect it to reach as far as it did. I am only writing this now because I saw my post on TikTok and can see a lot of you want an update. To answer some questions, Josh has had some suicidal tendencies in the past after a traumatic event and had been diagnosed with epilepsy this past summer, which is why his therapist suggested to take him where I did. He never injured his head and his parents wanted him home, so the doctors diagnosed him with some sort of psychosis, which I was skeptical about, but I trusted his therapist and the doctors. He was discharged and given some pills for his depression. He received an MRI scan 2 days ago and we are awaiting results. He has not gone back to work since this all happened, and I assumed when he was out he was with his family. My STBX is a civil engineer but now believes he is an architect. He doesn't have his architecture license and forgot how to do his engineering job for the most part, so I do not know what will happen with that. He doesn't remember any of his current friends since they all met in college. The reason he remembers his passcode is because he has had the same one since junior year of high school, where we met. So far, he does not want to see me and says he hates talking to me. Not because I'm a bad conversationalist, according to him, but because he can't stand talking with me knowing I'm embarrassed to have dated him and doesn't know why I'm with him again. He said I need to let go of the past because that's not him and that I should find someone better. He's realized while dating me again that he doesn't want to deal with me or anything. I'm physically perfect but we are too different. I asked why he had sex with me and he replied with "You're beautiful and I do think you're amazing, so how could I not?" He supposedly grew into a better man after we broke up originally and that I need to move on and that he's not here to fix my insecurity problems. I don't know if he had ever wanted to be with me at this point. Josh doesn't know what he will do with his life but knows what will help is if I'm out of it. In the past, he has belittled me, essayed me, went after the girl he told me not to worry about, and ghosted me more than once. And I fucking forgave him. Whether this is a tumor or just a lie like some of you have proposed, I realized how bad he had treated me. Things were better, but were they truly good? I don't know why he was with me if everything he had apologized for was a lie. We make the same in terms of money, so I can do fine on my own. I'm beyond heartbroken. What he says sounds like what he's been holding in for some long one way or another. My siblings, friends, and father are encouraging me to enjoy being freed from Joshua. They never liked him and always wanted me to be with someone worthy of me. I haven't felt this low in a long time and I don't know what to do. I'm almost 30 years old and I feel so ugly and undesirable right now. I've been hit on and pursued by people with Josh while he was rejected by the girl he told me not to worry about. The woman even came to me to explain that I deserved better and that she never understood how I saw him the way I did. That was years ago and my feelings are all coming back because of his cheating. I stood by him for years and even in his memories I never did anything wrong, yet he treats me like this. If a loser like him doesn't value me, someone who is supposedly out of his league, who will? Is this why he is upset to be with me? I'm insecure right now and have spent the past few days in a funk. I want to wake up in my Josh's arms and this all is a bad dream. I was never embarrassed to be with him, but now I'm embarrassed I wasn't. All the things he did I forgave him for and look where it got me. Everyone has been telling me how lucky I am to get out of a relationship with him. His mother, who has always had some racist ideas about me, even said I'm too good for all of this. I was never the pretty girl, so I worried that if someone as pathetic as Josh, I thought the world of him until this point, everyone else sees him as pathetic, isn't happy to be with me, am I even what he says? Was he flattering me for a moment of sex? Did he have sex with me to make the infidelity hurt more? What happened to the past 8 years of our relationship? I would like to think the results will prove to be a tumor and my Josh is still there, but I can't look at him anymore after all of this. Whatever version of Josh this is, it feels real and horrible. And no, when we had sex, I was not trying to get pregnant. We had been trying for so long and protection hasn't been used for a while. I was just happy to be intimate with who I thought was the love of my life. We hadn't gotten pregnant for a while, so I didn't expect to get pregnant now. And I didn't. My period was late but came as it did. If I did end up pregnant, I would simply abort. Even if the real Josh was coming back, I would terminate because I don't want to bring a kid into this mess so soon. I got tested for STDs, I'm clean. I haven't signed the papers, but I don't see us working out after this and he seems to be happy about that part. It's the only thing he's looking forward to. I feel like an insecure teenager again and I need time. I've always been insecure, so this is bringing up feelings I haven't had in a long time. Thank you for the comments and the awards. Josh's sister wants to keep me in the loop, but I may text her that I want out of it. I will hear if there's a tumor within the next week or so, but I don't want to know anything else. Call me cruel or self-centered or weird, but I don't know who this Josh is and I do not like him and I want my own distance. I need to prioritize myself right now and his family is taking care of him. That's all. Final update, Josh is still adamant that he doesn't love me and doesn't want me back from what I have last heard. Looking back, I don't know if he thought he was settling for me and he had lied to me to make himself look better. After he had used me for sex, I can't ever be with him again in any capacity anyways. I don't know what is happening with his job, all I know is he is not back and possibly won't be. He can't perform his duties, so I don't know what will happen. There's no diagnosis as of yet, but I am wondering if he did indeed fake this all. If he is, he's really committed to it if he is. I don't know if this baby dream of his and wanting to supposedly be with me forever were just overcompensating for how he really felt, but it does no good dwelling on that. He's not a good person and I need to accept that. When I talked with his parents over the phone, tensions were high. Mill was a wreck, begging to know what went wrong, and my Phil was encouraging me to stay. I kept telling them I don't want to know anything regarding him anymore, and if they continued I would hang up. They wouldn't stop, so I hung up. They texted an apology a day later and asked to come meet me for coffee with Sil. Sil and I have gotten close over the years and she convinced me to meet with them, no Josh. I met with Sil and Mill. Phil did not want to come and preferred to stay with Josh. Sil apologized for her brother, she is upset at his treatment, but my Mill just say we weren't meant for each other and should go our separate ways. She gave me a letter from him but I chose not to read it. Mill started relaying what he had been saying. According to her, Josh was sick of being reminded of how horrible he treated me in the past since he has changed, and it's time for me to stop expecting him to fix all my insecurities. When it comes to the cheating, his mom quotes him that it's difficult comparing the relationship he had with me to the one he never had with other women he has known. Sil stopped her from continuing and encouraged me to get professional emotional support. We talked about the house, money, and mutual friends, etc. We left on a good note and both Sil and Mill said they wish me the best. Since then I've been going to therapy and dealing with the house. I have an unstable career, so the house should help me a lot with finances. I am recovering from a food disorder I developed within my first few years with Josh, and I have been getting help for that. Josh has not reached out to me or attempted to contact me. I never opened the letter and just gave it to my brother for the divorce proceedings. I don't know if this was all some elaborate way to get out of our marriage, but it worked. I love him, but I'm realizing we were never as good as I wanted us to be. There's nothing left for me with him and I'm too tired to try. I wish he was a better person, but he's not, and as my mother keeps saying, he deserves someone who accepts him as he is, a piece of shit. I guess he got tired after all these years of trying to be someone he is not, and every issue was just incompatibility. I always thought shitty people should change, but my mom keeps reminding me he shouldn't have to for me or anyone. I can't explain the Lisa thing, and I think Josh may be stalking her, but that's really none of my business. The friends Josh made in college he swears he does not know, so I can't say who he communicates with outside his family. Wish I had a concrete answer about anything, but I don't think I'll have one ever. I needed some time to process everything that has happened. Thank you to all the nice comments and messages, even though I did not have the energy to respond to any. To all of the people who couldn't help but be rude, hope you're proud of yourselves. But my life is changing and the man I've loved no longer loves me, no matter what the cause. I owe it to myself to let him go, so I'm going to do that.